Evening, everybody. It is Sunday evening, and I'm going to be starting a new reading vlog. Hopefully, I will do better on this vlog than I did the last one because I didn't film a whole lot for the previous one, but hopefully this one will be better. Anyway, I just thought I would come on and just tell you about all the books that I'm in the middle of, and we'll see what books I add because there are some books I need to read, and some of the books that I am currently reading are going to be ongoing books that I'm not going to finish this week, but I'm just going to be working on them. One of those is Gone with the Wind by Margaret Mitchell. I'm 159 pages, like right at the end. It has the chapters like at the end, so about 160 pages. And not very far at all because this is a chunker. And I am enjoying this. Okay, it's a little slow. Not really a big fan of Scarlett. I really liked what I've seen of Rhett Butler, though he was quite funny. And just kind of now getting into like the whole war part, and so I'm kind of curious to see how things are going to progress from here. And I am still working on Gone Dark by Amanda Panish. I probably butcher that every time I say it. And I am here. So I'm on chapter 20, which is page 118. And so far this hasn't been too bad. It's not quite as fast-paced right now as I would hope it would be for a survivalist type of book. But we haven't actually got exactly to the survivalist stuff yet. We've got where the power is out and people are finally starting to panic because things aren't happening as quick as they thought. They thought the electric would be on by now. Zara, because she's had this training in how to survive from her father once they lived on the commune with him, she knows all this stuff about survival and everything. And she is going to eventually try to take a group from her I think her school or some of her classmates, and try to head to where her father lives to try to survive or whatever. And so that part hasn't actually happened yet, and so hopefully it gets there fairly soon. Then I am working on Everblaze, which is The Keeper of the Lost City number 3 by Shannon Messenger. I am this far, so not too far in this one either. But I am on chapter 15, which is 123 pages in. This is a tiny bit over 600 pages. Yeah, like 609 pages, I think. So, yeah, it is a chunker for middle grade, so I'm just kind of chipping away on it a little bit at a time. I am also working on Midnight Snacks Are Murder by Libby Klein, and I will be finishing this book before the end of the night. I am about 90% into it, so I will get it finished. It's audiobook, and I'm enjoying it a little bit more than I did the first book, but there's just something about this series, I don't know what it is, that just doesn't appeal to me like it does everybody else. I do think this one has a lot more humor in it. It's a lot more funny. But Aunt Jenny in this one is, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but she gets on my nerves. I know everybody else thinks Aunt Jenny's funny, but the stuff that she puts Poppy through, she's an old woman. She should know better than that. But she's trying to get away every time you turn around. She's got like one of those ankle bracelet things on, and she keeps escaping, and Poppy's having to deal with all that, and it's annoying. I just think she's annoying. Also don't like Georgina. She's really a handful too, and I don't like her character, and I'm not really that fond of Itty Bitty Smitty. So I'm not really a big fan of Smitty. He is the carpenter that's working on the B&B. His Three Stooges act or whatever is just makes me roll my eyes a little bit when he does this weird little thing with his voice that reminds me of Curly. And yeah, I don't know. So it's just having the wrong effect on me, I think, than it is on everybody else that's reading it. But so far, I am liking this one a little bit better than the first one. So, I think... Oh, wait, no, that's not everything. I'm also reading Saddled Up for Murder by J.C. Eaton, and I do want to finish this one this week. I think I'm like 63% into it, so I should be able to. It's my favorite series. I don't know why I just haven't finished it, but like I said, I've kind of fell down a YouTube rabbit hole, and I can't read the ebook when I'm watching eBay or watching YouTube or whatever. So yeah, so that's kind of how it's been. Anyway, I think that's everything. Hey, so I finished Midnight Snacks for Murder. I figured I would finish it tonight because I didn't have very much to go. And yeah, I have very mixed feelings about it. I think some of the things that other people like about it are things that I found annoying. I don't know what it is about this series. There's just something off about it. I did think that it was a lot funnier than the first one. I will give it that. And I will probably continue on, but I don't think it's something that's going to be like priority. Yeah. I forgot what I was going to say. I like Poppy McAllister. I do like her. And I like Geo, and I really like Geo, and I think Tim's okay. And I like her friend. Was it Sawyer? I like her. And I do like Aunt Jenny, but in this, I don't know. I found her to be more annoying than funny. Her and... Well, it could be spoilers, so I'll just put spoiler here just in case it's spoiling or anything. You can listen to it at your own risk. But whenever she's under house arrest, and all the things that she puts Poppy through, she's trying to escape all the time. And to me, it was just annoying. She's an older lady. She should know better than to do all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, I can get some of her reasoning behind it, but doesn't she know, like, the stress that she's putting Poppy through? To me, it just came out as being more annoying and childish than funny. And so I don't know. That's just me. And like I said, I found the Smitty guy to be kind of annoying, and Georgina or whatever her name is. I found more things to be annoyed about than I found things to be like laugh about, I guess. I did really into spoilers, I think. I did really think that the whole part where they were trying to find Aunt Jenny, like all the older people, her friends and stuff in the van, I thought that was really funny. And so yeah, it did have some funny parts and everything and stuff, but I don't know, I just think it's an okay series. I don't think it's as good as All My Friends. But that's okay. I would give it 3.5 stars, maybe? I don't know. I really, really want to like the series, and I do think it's okay. I just wish I liked it more. And you never know. It might grow on me as it goes. I don't know. But it is what it is. And yeah, so that's pretty much all I have to say. And I will see you back when I finish something else. Hello everybody, it's Monday, middle afternoon, and I'm here to talk about a book that I read and where I listened to, And it wasn't even one that I mentioned like previously. It was one that I thought, I need to get this one done because I've decided to cancel my AnyPlay subscription for right now. I just don't have the extra money for it. But this was the only place it was the only place I could find this actual book, and I wanted to listen to it. So I hurried up and listened to it. So that would be The Burning Page by Paige Shelton, which is the latest book in the Scottish Bookshop series. I don't know if it's number 6 or... I think it's number 7. I think. You know me, I can never remember. But anyway, this one has... Delaney gets invited to go to this thing. It was called the Burns something. I can't remember exactly what it was called. But anyway, it's about people who like Robert Burns, who's a poet. And they have the Burns house was actually where they have the meetings and stuff. And she was talked about in a meeting, I guess. And somebody had said that they should invite her. And so she was invited, and she asked, it was to a dinner, and she asked if she could bring somebody with her. If you have read this series, you know that Delaney hears, like, it's not like voices, but like quotes in her head, I guess you could say, from different books and things like that. It's kind of like her little quirky thing that she has. I mean, that might be like, I don't know, I guess a little magical realism, maybe? I don't know, but yeah, so she heard to be or not to be was in her head, and she thought that meant that she was supposed to take Hamlet with her. And Hamlet is one of the young guys that works at the bookshop with her, and she was going to take her brother because he had just showed up to surprise her, but she decides to take Hamlet, and that kind of spins like a course of the things that happen. Hamlet is then accused of murder whenever one of the guys from that group is found dead, and they think he was like the last person to might have seen him, and he also knew a little bit about him and everything. So Delaney knows that Hamlet didn't do it, and so she's got to figure out what happened and kind of find out a little bit more about Hamlet, because he's a character that you know that he has like a different kind of background. He doesn't know who his parents were or anything like that. He's kind of been adopted by Edwin and Rosie, who run the bookshop and everything, and he's just part of their family, whether he has a family, but it has a lot to do with involving like his actual family and things like that. And Hamlet's one of my favorite characters, and so I was like, oh no, they've got him as a suspect in this one. It's horrible. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I really like this series. It's just a lot of fun. I really like the Scottish setting. You know, anything Scottish is going to really be up high on my list. And yeah, so I really liked it. I gave it 4 stars. We're having storms, and so that's why the big baby is up here, because she is afraid of storms. And it's thundering outside. Anyway, I got a package in the mail, so I thought I would go ahead and open it. I've just kind of opened it a little bit so that I could hopefully not be forever trying to get it open. But I think it's something that I asked for. But then, I don't know, are you like this? Do you ever, publisher, say, hey, I want to send this, and you say, okay, and then you forget that you asked for something? Because I do all the time. Whoa, I think it's not something that I asked for. This is like super surprise. I'm so excited. I got the new Spy School. This is Spy School Project X, and it's by Stuart Gibbs, and it is the latest book in the Spy School series. Last year I wasn't sure if it was over because I caught up with it. Like, if you followed me last year I read the entire series last year, and so yeah. Oh, it's so exciting. It's so going to be a lot of fun getting back with Ben Ripley and the gang. Oh, It comes out in September. So wow, I got a long ways to go. But I may have to read this early because I'm kind of excited. Usually I listen to it, but since I got this cool copy here, I will just go ahead and read it because I'm so excited. Ooh, that's exciting. I figured it was probably something that I asked for and that I forgot that I asked for it. But I did tell Simon and Schuster that I really love Stuart Gibbs, so that's cool. And thank you, Simon and Schuster, for sending that my way, because I don't believe I asked for it or anything. So my memory. It's always so surprised whenever I get book mail because I never remember what I asked for. Anyway, so that's pretty much all I have to say this go around. I will pop back in when I've finished something else. Hey everybody, it's Tuesday. I almost forgot what day it was. And I have totally gone off the rails with what I'm reading. I don't know. I feel like I'm very distracted in my mind this week. And I don't know. This whole like idea of like reselling and things and all the different places that you can do that kind of stuff. I just feel like I've got all this information in my head and I think it's distracting me. But also I don't know why I'm not reading the books that I have going. I've been reading other books. So like I told you at the beginning of this vlog, all the books that I was in the middle of. And so, what do I read and finish? These Deadly Games by Diane Urban. I had an audiobook version of it. It was one of my e-arcs, but it had already come out, and I found the audiobook on Overdrive, and so I listened to it. And, you know, it wasn't bad. I liked her first one. I think maybe I liked her first one a little bit better than this one. But I did find this one to be interesting, and I do think that maybe some people might not figure it out. But I pretty much called what was going on pretty early on, and I kind of figured out who the baddie was fairly early on and everything. So the whole like ending reveal thing was no real surprise to me. It is young adult thriller, and so, you know, those are usually, sometimes they get me, sometimes they don't. But I still enjoyed it just fine. I think it's okay, and I think if you like books that have kind of a game thing in them where like it's a deadly, there are high stakes involved, and you have to do certain things and everything, and trying to figure out who is making you do this and all that kind of stuff, that you might enjoy it. It's about Crystal, and she, 5 years ago, her and her friends, they had done something, and it involved this other kid, and you get that flashbacks and stuff, and they kept something that happened a secret, and then now Crystal is like a really big gamer, and so it's got like even that kind of a gaming. She's like really involved in this gaming world called Mortal Dusk. Her and her friends, and there is a competition, like a school competition, even to you can get money, like lots of money, and you have to have a group. And at first, it was said that there was supposed to be 6 people in their groups, and so they added this new guy Dylan to their group, and because he was like really good. And then it comes out that there could only be 5 people in the group, so you can't just like, oh, new guy, you're out of here, and kick him out. And so they're actually playing like a competition to see whoever gets the most like amount of points racked up, some kind of like kill points or something like that, can be in the group. Like the first 5 to get a certain amount of like points or whatever. And so they're kind of pitting themselves against each other, even though they're friends in that. And like Crystal is all about the game, and she's like so focused on the game all the time that even her like little sister says, you know, that's all you ever think about is the game. And then she's at school one day, and she gets a ding on her phone, and it's from like a different app that she didn't even know she had on there. And it's let's play a game kind of thing. The person on there says, you know, I have your sister, and if you don't do what I want you to do, then she's going to die. You can't tell the police or she's going to die. You can't tell anybody, she's going to die, kind of a thing. And this is what I want you to do. And she has to do like these series of things. Well, the series of things that she does ends up involving her friends and getting her friends in trouble. And then things turn deadly. And the stakes are getting higher and higher as things go. And she's trying to figure out who it is. She has her suspicions on who she thinks it might be. And so she's trying to figure it out, all while trying not to let whoever's watching her find out that she's trying to figure these things out. And so, yeah, so there's lots of that going on and everything. But, yeah, like I said, you know, it was okay. I think if you like those type of books, that you might like it. But if you read a lot of thrillers and things, to me, I thought it was quite obvious what was going to be happening. But I think maybe some others that don't read a lot of thrillers may not guess it. I would be curious to know if anybody has read it that is watching this. Like, let me know if you figured it out or not. Or if you decide to read it, let me know later on. Because I'm kind of curious to see if, you know, if it's just because I've read too many mysteries that it was kind of obvious. Or if it was just really, really easy. A part of me thinks that maybe the author made it, or at least half of it, easy. Like the first part of the stuff easy, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure. That's why I'm kind of curious. But I don't know. I would say I would give this maybe 3 stars, 3.5 stars. I liked it. It was okay. I mean, it wasn't great, but I did like it. And obviously, I was curious to see what was going to happen next, because I just started it last night and I finished it today. And so, I mean, I was invested in trying to find out if I had it right or not and stuff. So, yeah. I'm just curious to know if anybody else has read it and I liked it or not. And so now, I need to clean out my head or something and get on the books that I have going. Because the books that I'm reading, it's not that I'm not liking them. It's just, I don't know. I have a lot of audiobooks on overdrive that I need to get to. And I think that's driving me from the ebooks, is like, oh, I need to listen to this before it goes back. I think that's part of it, but I don't know. The other part, I don't know. I'm in a funky mood this week. I don't know what it is, but I don't know. But it needs to be fixed. And so hopefully I will pop back on here later on this week and tell you something else that I read that I actually told you I was reading at the beginning of this vlog instead of something totally different. Hey everybody, it's a Wednesday and I just now got off of reading sprints over at Tiffany from the Beach Bum Bookworm, and since I finished a book, thought I'd come on here. I actually finished a book before this, an audiobook, so I have 2 books to talk about. So the first one is one that I had been reading, and I got cut off on overdrive because I had to go back, and so I'd come back. So I just went ahead and finished it, since it would have been something quick to do. So it wasn't on my TBR for this week either, of any of the books that I talked about earlier in this video. going to be one of those weeks, guys. And this one is The Messenger by Margaret Peterson Haddix. And it's the last book in a trilogy. It's middle grade, and this one, it's about, I can't say a whole lot because it is the last one in the trilogy, so I don't want to give anything away. But it's about Chess, Finn, and Emma, and they are, in the first book that's called The Greystones, they find out that there's like an alternate world where they have like duplicates of them. So there was people in this other world with that look just like them and everything. So, and everybody has like a duplicate. Well, in the one world, the people, the rulers and things like that, like the leaders, are not very nice. And so some of the people are trying to get the attention of like the other world to help them and all that kind of stuff. So it's got that kind of stuff. And so it's just kind of wrapping up what happened and what was going on and all that stuff. And like I said, I don't want to say much because I don't want to give spoilers away. But I do think this was maybe the weakest one in the series. It just seemed like more of what had already happened in the other ones. And then, like, the ending kind of, like, wrapped it up. And I don't even think the ending was a very good wrap-up. But overall, it was enjoyable and everything, and I liked it just fine. I give it 3 stars, but at least I have wrapped up that trilogy, so I can check that off my list. That was not even on my SAS list, but it's an extra. That'll probably happen a lot during the year. And then the one that I just finished during reading sprints is Saddled Up for Murder by J.C. Eaton. And in this one, it's the 9th book, I think, 8th or 9th book in the Sophie Kimball series. And in this one, at the very beginning, Nate and Marshall get called in to help with some horse thieves and things like that, some stolen horses, and it takes them from one place to another as all these horses are being stolen. The Department of Agriculture is supposed to help, but they're not really helping, and so they get called in. And once somebody tells them that, hey, Nate and Marshall from the investigation service is going to, whenever they get a call, so they get a call from all these people, and so they're traveling around doing all this. Meanwhile, back at home, there has been a murder. A lady who Harriet, Sophie's mother, calls, and some others called the Deli Witch. They didn't like her, and she was a very mean deli person or whatever. She is murdered, and there's this event that was going to be happening at the library in the towers where the murder occurred, and if Sophie or the police don't figure it out before, they can't have their event there. And Harry is very upset about this, so she wants Sophie to figure things out. So she's kind of on her own in this one and figuring out what happened, because Nate and Marshall aren't there to bounce things off with or anything. She does talk to the 2 deputies that usually work the crimes or whatever with her and stuff, but she's kind of on her own in this one quite a bit and everything. And yeah, it was really fun. Whenever things come together towards the end, and they're at this one event, and Streetman, he cracked me up. He is, I don't know, that Chewini needs some medication, but at the same time, he did really good. He did help. He did help out, actually, which was kind of funny. He does that from now and then. He actually does something right. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. And yeah, so I really enjoy this series. It's one of my favorite series. I think I missed Nate and Marshall, though. Wish they would have been in it a little bit more. I do like Sophie, but she does tend to start acting like her mother sometimes, and makes me roll my eyes a little bit. But I do love Harriet, too. I mean, she has her moments, but in this one, I thought she was quite funny. and we didn't have as much of her group of older ladies, so I think that helped too. So it was a little bit more contained, and so it wasn't just like over the top, like, oh my goodness. And so yeah, it was just fun. I give this one 5 stars. I really liked it. I wasn't sure if I was going to give it 5 stars. It was more leaning towards like a 4.5. But there at the end, I mean, with the streetmen and everything that happened, it just had to have 5 stars because it made me laugh and it was just great. So at least I've gotten one book that I mentioned at the beginning of the video that I was going to finish up this week. Got one. I did. Update on Gone with the Wind. I am on page 207 out of like 1,020 something. So it is slow going, but I am going. I have missed a couple of nights. I've tried to read at least a chapter a night. I have missed one. I should probably double down and read a couple of chapters tomorrow so that I can maybe get a little bit more on track. But yeah, there's that. And so I'm not going to say what I'm going to start reading because I have absolutely no idea. I do know that I have a few books going. Oh, I do know what I'm going to read next. I do, if I stick with it, because I need to have it done by Saturday. So I need to read Bookman Dead Style by Paige Shelton. It's a re-listen, so I'm not too worried about it, but I do need to get it done for the Killing Time with Cozy's book club. So that's what's next. And then, I'm not sure. So anyway. Hey, so this has been a week of popping in books and reviewing them that I haven't even mentioned that I was going to read this week. It's kind of how this week has been. It's been a week. But hey, sometimes that happens. But anyway, so I finished Mr. Limoncello's All-Star Breakout Game by Chris Gravenstein. And I really, really like this series. I think this is the last one, unless the newest one has come out, I think. But this is number 4. I know there's a 5th one that's going to be coming out that's like a prequel, and it's about Mr. Limoncello. But I don't know if it's out yet. I haven't checked. I should have checked before I got on here, but I didn't. Anyway, but this one was a lot of fun. It follows the same group of kids that has been through this whole thing. You've got Kyle Keeley and is it Sierra? And I can never remember their names. Anyway, it's the same group of kids. And they're, Mr. Limoncello has a new game he was wanting to do, a TV game. And this time there's going to be all-star teams. And that's because one of the teams that is competing are actual child stars. And one of them is one of their friends from the first one, Haley. She became a star because of the first game and everything. And she's been doing really well. And so she's playing on the star team. And then there is Kyle and his team. And then there is Charles Chiltington, who is a horrible, horrible kid. But he's horrible because his father is horrible. And so he thinks he's going to beat everybody. And he's going to outsmart them by getting 8th graders to be on his team. Because he wants the smartest 8th graders. But the thing that he doesn't think about is this is a game, and he got the smartest bookworms, not game players. And so things don't quite go exactly the way Charles wanted it to go whenever he was playing the game. But of course, he never does things the way he's supposed to because he tries to cheat all the time because that's who he is. And it's because his father always tells them that Chiltingtons never lose. So if he loses, then, you know, his father gets upset and disappointed in him. And so that's kind of why that Charles is the way he is. And in this book, Kyle and his friends get to learn a lot more about Charles and why he is the way he is. And in the midst of this book also, you're learning a lot more about the libraries and all that kind of stuff, which is what I always like. Also, I have never mentioned it before, but one of the things that I do like is that it gives you a reading list in the back of each book. So it has like the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, Aesop's Fables, Artemis Fowl. I mean, it has, and they're not just kids' books. I mean, there's The Art of War in here, but it's Mr. Limoncello's All-Star Breakout Game reading list, and it says how many have you read. And so if like this was your actual book, you could, if you wanted to, like I would never, but there is a checkbox there that you could check. I would never do that. But yeah, so it has like the, oh look, the Island of Dr. Libris, which is another one of his books. But yeah, so I kind of like that it has that in the back. But yeah, I really like this because I do think these are great learning books. You learn about the library, and you learn about playing fair and how being nice to other people will get you a little bit farther than being mean and things like that. And so yeah, I really enjoyed it. I give it 4 stars. I just really like this series, and this was on my SAS list. So technically, I think like I said, I only have the newest one that's come out, and then I will be caught up. So yay! I did really good. And so yeah, that's the latest book. Oh, and I forgot. I don't think I have reviewed this one either, but I will give a small one. I also finished Bookman Dead Style by Paige Shelton, and this is the Killing Time with Cozies series read-along book. It's number 2 in the trilogy that we're reading, and this one has Claire, who works at the... Of course, I can't remember. It's a place where she restores typewriters and stuff like that. And in this one, there is a movie star who comes in, and they also do hand-printed stationery and things like that. And he was wanting some cards, and he had been there before and seen the place. And so he wants to get some cards and everything. And of course, the younger girl is a bit starstruck and everything. That was kind of fun. But then eventually he is accused of murdering his sister, and he is put in jail. And Harley doesn't believe that he done it. For some reason I think I'm calling her the wrong name. And Claire, she kind of had a moment there where she thought they bonded a little bit. And when she finds out that he is in trouble, she tries to get in to see him, but because he's a star, they're not trying to let anybody in, but she kind of moseys her way in because her friend is the police officer there, and so she kind of gets herself in, and she tells him that she doesn't really think that he done it, and she would like to try to help him and everything. So that's pretty much his only person on the outside, it seems like, because his assistant or whatever that's supposed to be helping him doesn't seem to even come around. He keeps saying that he's supposed to get him a lawyer, yet he's never seen a lawyer, and he doesn't know what's going on with, I think his name was Howie or something. And there's just a lot of iffy things going on, but he's stuck in there, and he just knows that he did not kill his sister. And so, yeah, I enjoyed this this one. I thought it was pretty good. I gave it 4 stars. This is a re-listen for me. I've already listened to this trilogy before. I gave it 4 stars last time, and I still enjoyed it and give it 4 stars this time. I guess it would be a little different. I know some people are finding it a little boring, but I don't know. I just like this series. And maybe it's because of the narrator, because I absolutely love the narrator that does this one. So that could be it. But anyway, so that's all I have to report back now. And I will come back on if I finish another one. If I don't finish anything, I'll just come back and wrap up, because the week is almost over. I can't believe it. Hello everybody, it's Sunday, and I'm just coming on to wrap up the vlog because I haven't finished anything else since the last time that I talked to you guys. So I just thought I would pop on and just kind of do my little rundown that I normally do of all the books that I have read. I have actually finished a lot more books this week than I did the previous week, but like most of them weren't even on my radar or on my TBR. Yeah. Okay. So, one of them that I read was Midnight Snacks Are Murder by Libby Klein. And this is the second book in the Poppy McAllister series. And I thought it was better than the first one, but I still wasn't really a huge fan of the series yet. I'm still going to continue on, but I just didn't really care for Anjani in this one, so I think that maybe she won't be quite so bad in the other ones. We'll see. And I gave it 3.5 stars, maybe 3.5. I'm thinking, since I like this one a little bit more than the previous book, that maybe I should have gave the first book 2 stars so that I could give this one 3 stars. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. And then I read The Burning Pages by Paige Shulton, which is the latest book in the Scottish Bookshop series, so I got caught up on that series. And it's like an unofficial SAS, because I'm always working on series that I don't even have on my actual SAS list. But yeah, so I like catching up on any that I can. And I really like this series. I give this one 4 stars, and this one has Delaney, who is trying to see what happens and get her friend off the hook, because Hamlet is a suspect in this one. And then I have The Messenger by Margaret Peterson Haddix. It's a long name. And this one wraps up another series. It wraps up a trilogy, a middle grade trilogy, and I do think this one was kind of the weaker one of the trilogy, but it was still enjoyable, and I had fun with the 3 kids, Chess, Finn, and Emma, and the other kids that they have met along the way. This one has kind of a parallel universe type thing to it, so it's a little bit, I guess, sci-fi-ish, maybe, a little light sci-fi. But not so much that I couldn't figure out what was going on, so that's always good. And so I give this one 3 stars. Then I have Saddled Up for Murder by J.C. Eaton. And this one is one of my favorite series, and it catches me up on this series as well. It is... I should have looked this up before I got on here. I think it's the 9th book in the series. 8 or 9. You know me. I can never remember where it goes. And anyway, this one was a lot of fun, and Streetman had a lot of time in this one, and I just adore Streetman. He is such a neurotic, crazy little Chewini, but sometimes he can just pull through and just do something that just makes you like, oh, go Streetman. And that's what happened in this one. It was a lot of fun. Definitely some laugh out loud moments in this one. And I always like hanging out with Sophie and Harriet, her mother. I think I kind of missed Nate and Marshall, because they weren't in this one quite as much, because they were off on a different investigation. But hopefully they will be back in the next one full swing. And then I gave that one 5 stars, in case I forgot. I think I forgot to say. And then I did a re-listen of Bookman Dead Style by Paige Shulton, and this is the second book in the Dangerous Type series and the read-along trilogy that we are doing with the Killing Time with Cozy's book group, and I like this series. I give it 4 stars. I like Claire and her grandfather and how they restore typewriters and all that stuff. This one had a movie star that came into their store and ends up in trouble and gets accused of murdering his sister, and Claire's just not sure that he done it, and so she's going to try to figure out what happened. And then the last one I have is Mr. Lemoncello's All-Star Breakout Game by Chris Gravenstein, and you will now notice that hardly any of the books that I probably talked about at the beginning of this vlog ended up on the end of this. Like, most of these I didn't even talk about until I read them. And yeah, I really like this series. It's a lot of fun. It's kind of like a mystery but with fun games in a library. I would absolutely love a library like Mr. Limoncello's library. They're always doing such fun and cool things that involve the library, and I really like it. I'll give this one 4 stars, and I think I have one more to go to catch up. Well, one more, and then I think there is like a prequel that came out, so I'll have like one more and the prequel, and then I'll be caught up. So, almost there. And so yeah, that's everything that I read this week, and I will say this one because I couldn't say it on the other vlog, but I am having such like bad editing issues trying to find an editor that I like that's free. I am going to have to try to save up and get my other editor that I like, that I paid for. Because I can't find anything free. So it's putting me like way behind on my editing. And so you're probably getting like back-to-back vlogs this week if I can get this edited and put up as well as the one before this. And so sorry it's taken so long to get my videos out, but hopefully I will land on an editor that I can handle until I get things back the way I want it. But anyway, so have you read any of these books? Let me know, comment down below. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!